As always, it took a little bit longer to tweak some of the metal work on the final install, but everything is completed. All the electrical works, all of the metal work fits perfectly. Only thing missing out of this boat is some turf and some decals. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. This is episode 6 of this well-built 1448 tournament Jonboat build. The boat is coming out sick. It's almost done. This video is going to have the entire reveal and walkthrough video of the boat. Before we get into that, I wanted to share a couple things with you real quick. I've been working on this jet boat build at the shop. It has a sweet layout to it. It's got a center console drive. It's a 1800cc Yamaha jet engine. I mean, this thing is going to be so dope. It's got a swim platform and tons of storage, rod locker. It's a big boat. It's actually a 1760. The floor was put in by somebody else, but it has a 3/16 aluminum floor in it. It's also going to be covered with UHMW, full paint job, turf, LEDs, you name it, it's probably going to be in it. That first episode of that build series is going to be dropping hopefully within the next couple of weeks because it's already recorded. I just got to edit it and put it out to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get right into the action. So we're getting ready to cut this Gator Camo HydroTurf. It's one of my favorite colors. It's like an OD green and a black. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut off a straight line right across here. What happens is when they run these sheets off the mill, the lines get off. So this one right here, you know, it's almost at the edge. At the other end, it's way off. So I'm just going to cut this straight across there and use that as my straight corner. Alright, so we've got our first piece cut. Takes a minute to make a template, but it's well worth it in the long run. I just wiped down this front deck with acetone and blew it off with the air compressor. What I'm going to do is start up in this front corner and work my way along this side wall right here. Alright guys, so you just saw me make a template for this first piece of turf we put in here, and it looks sick with this black paint job. It's going to be super cool, especially once we get the graph bridge in there with the graphs on it. But the cool thing about making a template is that 90% of the time you can use that same template and flip it over and use it for the opposite side of the boat. So set it up here, see if it fits. It's very close. It won't be hard to tweak it a little bit. Alright, so let's cut this next piece. As you can see, this turf has a cut groove pattern. So we have to line up our next piece with the piece we just installed, which means we got to cut it right at the edge of this lowest piece. We have to have that low section going in with our next piece so it lines up. I'm cutting this with an old shelf board as a backer, and this is just a 1x1 1/8 aluminum angle. I'm using this as a straight edge. Basically, I'll just find my spot on either end, hold it as tight as possible, and drag cut the razor right along the side of this angle. Alright guys, so this boat is completed. This thing turned out sick. It's definitely a one of a kind. Let's go ahead and give you the run through. This back deck is probably going to be my new norm. Everybody always gets the 2 hatches and the batteries underneath of them, but having this hatch in the back with this cutout splash well, I think it really finishes it off, and I think it looks killer. This big hatch has a lot of storage room in it. One side is probably going to have a gas tank in it, and the other side is just fair game for whatever else you need to put in there. I also hooked up a 2-bank battery charger. The plug for it's right here, so when you get home, you can plug this bad boy in, and next time you get in your boat, your batteries will be charged and you'll be ready to go. Now you saw earlier where I cut out these holes in this back bench seat and dropped these hatches in here. See how much space you actually have in here. Pretty good area on either side. Batteries are in the center there, the tender's up in here, but I put a floor in here so any of your stuff that got put in here would stay completely dry, and both sides are the same way. These hatches also have locks on them to protect the lithium batteries and whatever tackle you keep in there. So how about this turf color though? This turf really turned out sick. All of my lines and everything kind of flowed really well in installation, so it looks all uniform, and I was really happy with all of that. This live well actually turned out pretty cool too. I was kind of skeptical about that with this build, the way it was sitting out there, but now that it's all done in turf, I think it really fits. He's got a Lowrance fish finder over here on the side. It's on a swing arm, so you can sit in here and view it when you're driving with a tiller. We can get it out of your way if you're not using it. Alright, so these decals, all these decals are custom, but this one in particular, the My Iron, it has a story behind it. Basically, the guy who owns this boat, his father passed away when he was only 16, and they had just finished redoing a Chevy S10. The My Iron was a nickname his dad gave him when he was a kid. So I asked him if he had anything in particular he wanted to put in here. He told me the story, and I think it's a great attribute to the boat. It gives it character, and it really means something to the guy. I also incorporated that into the opposite side on his big panel. Obviously, you got the Trick 10 sticker on here. The Jonboat Elite Trail, that's one of the tournaments that he fishes with, and I threw a largemouth bass up there. That gets us into our live well and electrical hatch. It's very sick, slick looking, everything's nice, professional. But this front deck, the front deck is killer. He's got some cool stuff going on up here. This is a custom graph bridge that I actually designed. The first time I designed this was on the SB boat build with my personal boat, King Neptune. And it just worked out perfect. This was an extra one that I made. It's the same exact size as that boat, and it has the same size graphs on it, a 126 and a 93, and they fit perfect. I mean, you can see they're in line with each other. Everything is right where it should be. I went ahead and threw some camo turf on his foot pedal just so it would match the rest of the boat. But all in all, I'm extremely happy with this build. I think he's going to be happy too. It turned out really cool. It looks really aggressive. He's got his live scope. Everything's working as it should. I think he's going to be really happy about this. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about this build, good or bad. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out of here because I got another one in the backyard. I'm trying to get started on it. I'll see y'all next time.